Okay, in this video I just want to finish off kind of the general vertical and horizontal stretching and reflecting, and in this one I'm going to talk about reflecting. And so what we're going to look at are conditions 5 and 6 here. The idea is if you basically plug a big old negative sign out in front of your formula, it's going to reflect your graph about the x-axis. If you replace all of your x's with negative x's, so you kind of change, well, not necessarily change the sign, you're going to reflect about the y-axis. So kind of generally, again, so this will be probably the easiest of all of them, kind of a general, just again, a general idea. Again, if the negative's on the outside, it flips it about the x-axis. And if you think about it, I mean, that really makes sense. I mean, what's going to happen? You plug x in, you get some y value out. That's what f of x is. Okay, so suppose it was positive originally. Well, if you plug a negative out front, what's it going to do? It's going to change the sign and reflect it down to the other side. So really that's what it's doing. The negative out front changes the sign on all the y values, and that has the effect of reflecting it about the x-axis. Likewise, if it's on the inside, you reflect the graph about the y-axis. And now the idea is, whatever you plugged in for 2 originally, you're going to get that same output at now -2. And that's going to have the effect of shifting it about the y-axis. So just a quick little graph. Let's graph y equals negative f of x here real quick. So again, all it does is it kind of preserves its sort of general shape. All that happens is, again, you're just flipping it. So instead of this first little sawtooth part, it's now, instead of going up, it's going to go down. Okay, to -2. So there's the original part that was up is now down. This original part that was down will now go up. Okay, so again, a very loose graph on these two. And instead of being down here at -1, 2, again, now if that point flips, it's going to be up here at +1, and it'll extend over a distance of 2 units. And then at this portion down here that was at 2, -2 will now flip up to the top and be up here at 2, and it'll extend over a distance of 4 units. Okay, so that's the graph of y equals negative f of x. Again, all it does is stuff that was above the x-axis gets flipped below the x-axis and vice versa. Okay, so okay, let's do the other one here real quick. So again, very general. I'm going to do some more kind of concrete ones with functions that you've probably encountered, and produce some other graphs as well. Okay, just the general idea here. Okay, last but not least, again, we said if the negative is on the inside, all that does is reflects the graph about the x-axis. So now this portion that was originally on the left side is going to get moved over to the right side. Okay, there's my little arrow. And this portion that was on the bottom will get moved over to the left side. So instead of going over from 0 to -2, if you reflect it, it'll go over from 0 to 2. And it'll still go up and then back down, up here at a height of 2. And then if you think about the other part, it was going down from -2 to -4. So now it'll go down and come back up between +2 and +4. Okay. And lastly, the part that was on the right side, well, instead of going to the right like it normally did, if it reflects, it'll now point over to the left, and it'll extend over to an x-coordinate of -2. And then we'll jump down here, and we'll extend over until we get to -4. Okay, so again, this is supposed to be a flat little line, very sloppy little graph. So, but again, the idea is the shape is exactly preserved. the only thing that happens is you're just reflecting. I mean, basically, if you have this on a piece of paper, just turn your paper over, okay? And that new graph that you see is going to be f of negative x, okay? So that's what the new graph will look like. All right, so I hope these help. Again, I'm going to put all of this together, all the stretching and reflecting and shifting and transforming with some different graphs, maybe trig functions, exponential functions, x squared, absolute value of x. Do all that in another video, so feel free to dig around for that as well.